Hi everyone, welcome back to Ben Goes Biking. Thank you for being here as always. Today I'm going to be talking about bike helmets and the things you need to be looking out for when buying one. So, it's no question that a bike helmet or a lid is the most important bit of protective kit you're going to have on your person when you're out on the roads. In a lot of countries it's a legal requirement to actually wear one if you want to throw a leg over the bike and head off down the road. But today I'm not talking about the reasons why you need to be wearing one, because if you need to be told, you probably shouldn't be on a bike. But I want to talk about the things to consider when you're looking at buying them, because I've gone through various numbers of helmets and some have been really good and some have been really crap as well. And so these are kind of my list of what I wish I knew when I started looking at helmets. And I'm going to start with what I call the obvious, the things that you should be looking at without even thinking about. They should be the go-to thing that you check out when you first pick up a helmet. And that is going to be the correct safety stamps. And what I mean by these, you're going to be looking for things that say DOT, SNELL or ECE. They're a sticker that proves that the helmet has gone through the right testing to make sure that if you have an accident, you're going to be protected properly. If you can't find the sticker, I'd be asking questions or just avoiding it altogether. You also want to look at the straps in the helmet. The most common ones you get today are the D-ring or the ratchet straps. You want to see that they're fitted into the helmet sturdily, how they fit round the chin, and you're going to be comfortable and they don't come loose very easily. So the last thing you want is at 70 miles an hour for a strap to come loose, you're not as well protected, and it's bloody annoying as well. My second point, and if you take anything away from this video today, please let it be this. Never buy second hand. I can't stress this enough. I know you've gone out, you've bought a bike, you spent a lot of money on the bike, the insurance, the rest of the gear, but the helmet is where you want to spend the money. You may see an ad on Facebook or eBay for a second hand one. Please don't, because you don't know how that helmet has been treated in its life. You don't know if it's been dropped, and the problem with it being dropped is it may not do any damage to the external part of the helmet, but you don't know what it's done to the internals, because that can break very easily when a helmet gets dropped from a reasonable height. And once it's been dropped, the helmet will not protect you as well as it should. So yeah, just avoid it. Just go out, buy a new one. It's worth spending the money. And my third point kind of follows on from the second one, is buy from a trusted source. Go to the dealership you bought your bike from, or go to a trusted gear store, because replicas and knockoffs are on the rise, and some people got very, very good at cloning popular brands of helmets and lowering the price. However, what you don't see with those kind of things is the amount of corners that have been cut to make the helmet that cheap. It's not going to protect you that well. If it seems too good to be true, it probably is. So moving on to point number 4 is find a style that suits you. There are so many different variations of helmets that you can get, and you want to make sure the one that you get is going to be right for you. You've got full face, you've got flip ups, which half the helmet comes up, and again, it's up to you whether you feel that takes away protection or not, or you've got the half head helmets. Yeah, a lot of people base their helmet on the style of bike or what style of riding they're going to be doing, whether it's going to be road, off-road, track. There's a lot out there. Do their research, make sure it suits the way you want to look, suits your bike, and yeah, just have an explore of all of them. Don't rule anything out. Point number 5 is try the helmets on. when you go to a store, make sure that you ask them, can I try it on? Because you've got to know that you're going to be happy with this bike helmet. If you're going to be a full-time biker or a daily commuter, you're going to be wearing this helmet for hours upon hours. And the last thing you want is feeling like your head's being crushed or you have an ear being constantly folded over. So yeah, try it on. If you can, just ask them if you can wear it just for 10 minutes, just so you know that you're going to be able to cope with wearing this thing. And also, know your size before you get to the store. Take time to find out what your head size is. It does change occasionally between manufacturers and that kind of thing, but know your size of helmet, because it's so important that you have one that fits just right. If in doubt about the size, ask one of the people at the store to give you a hand and make sure they don't have any concerns, because the last thing you want to be doing is having a helmet that's wobbling on your head, or when you try and do a lifesaver you're looking into the side of your helmet and not actually the road. So again, that is very important. Pin locks and ventilation is point number 6 here. When looking at a helmet, I always look for one that has pin lock capability, and a pin lock, for those of you who don't know, is an insert that goes onto the visor and it stops the visor from misting up, and it makes such a world of difference. I can't believe how much difference it makes. I've had ones that haven't had pin locks, and having a fogged up visor is scary and really, really annoying. And then the ventilation part of it is, a lot of manufacturers put their vents in different places, have different ways to access it. Make sure that the one you're getting, you're going to be able to open and access or close easily when you're riding, preferably with one hand. You don't want one that's too complicated when you decide that you need to get air into your helmet or get rid of the air. It's not the most exciting thing to be talking about, but the pin locks and ventilation, they are going to improve your riding experience so much. Following on from that is visors and gadgets. Visors, there's a bit to think about with them. You want to know, can they be changed easily? So if your first visor gets scratched, are you going to be able to take it off fairly quickly and replace it with another one? Can you swap it out for tinted ones? Do they make tinted ones if you want them? And also, anti-scratch visors are also a bonus. And then gadgets. There's a lot of intercoms out there these days. A lot of the manufacturers will make one that goes specifically with your helmet, or you can get another one, but you want to make sure there's a decent capability to store the earphones in the helmet and be able to mount the intercom on the side of the helmet easily. So yeah, just another thing to consider. And then at the end of this video, what I'd like to say, it's all personal. Every biker is going to have a different need and a different taste when it comes to a bike helmet, but do your research. Make sure that the one you are getting is the bike helmet for you, because if you have your doubts about a helmet, just avoid it. Go for the one that you know you are absolutely going to be able to cope with wearing day in, day out. So that's pretty much my points for what I would be looking out for when looking at a new lid. If you've got any experiences with certain manufacturers, let me know, whether it be good or bad. It'd be interesting to see what your thoughts are. If you feel like there are any more points that you should be looking out for when looking at helmets, also let me know. It would be great to have that conversation. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.